as the committee recording secretary. And thank you to Trustee Akina for having your aide, Remy Kele Iho'omalu, help the team in her role as today's technology specialist. Thank you. Okay, Leanne, please take the roll for attendance.
Trustee Ahuna is excused. Trustee Akaka. Ale. Trustee Akina.
Aloha mai kākou.
Trustee Alapa. Trustee Kahele.
Present.
Trustee Lindsay. Trustee Souza is running late. Trustee Waiʻanae. Chair Galutaria.
Here you go.
You have 8 present, which constitutes a quorum.
Thank you. Mahalo, and mahalo members. Public testimony will be allowed on each agenda item and will be limited to 5 minutes per speaker. Before moving on to the items on our BAE agenda, I would like to call on our COO, Sean Kekina, to join us at the table to introduce any administrative staff here with us today. Aloha.
Aloha, aloha kakaya kakaku. Mahalo nui, Chair, Vice Chair, and Trustees. This morning we have with us from administration our Associate General Counsel, Roselle Agog. We have our Public Policy Manager, Deja Ostrowski. We have our Director of Education and Aina-Based Learning, Anuhea Avo-Chun. And we also have our IT and Systems Engineers, Daniel Santos. Mahalo.
Okay, mahalo. Thank you very much. Okay, next item is the approval of the minutes, January 14th, 2026. Any public testimony?
No public testimony at this time.
All right, the chair moves to approve the January 14th, 2026 meeting minutes of the Committee on Beneficiary Advocacy and Empowerment. Any discussion, members? Okay, seeing none. Leanne, please call for the roll, or the vote, rather.
Trustee Ahuna is excused. Trustee Akaka.
Aye.
Trustee Akina.
Aye.
Trustee Alapa. Yes. Trustee Kahele.
Aye.
Trustee Lindsay. Trustee Souza is running late. Trustee Waiʻanae. Chair Galutaria.
Yo,
You have 7.
thank you. Mahalo, members. Okay, now we move on to new business, members, and I'm pleased to say that we're going to have a presentation now on the Waiʻanae Coast student situation and student outcomes, and it's going to be presented by Germaine Meyers. So, Germaine, you want to come on up? Okay. All right. This includes publicly available data from the Hawaii Department of Education Strive Hawaii reports and community observations. Come and join us at the table, Germaine, please. Now, and I'm very pleased to announce you in a different capacity today, right? You're very active in OHA's boardroom. We do know that. But we want to acknowledge Native Hawaiian Community Advocate, elected member of the Nanakuli Maili Neighborhood Board, 36, where you served since 2017, huh?
33, actually. They skipped some numbers.
They skipped some numbers, okay. She currently chairs the Transportation and Housing Zoning Committees and is deeply committed to strengthening Ohana community voices and responsible governance. So, Germaine, we're gonna, have we given everybody the, okay? So the time is yours, okay?
Everybody will get a copy of the presentation. Awesome. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Hey, Germaine,
Aloha, everybody.
hold on 1 second. Is there any public testimony
Oh.
to this presentation? Leanne? No. No. Okay. So the time is yours. Please proceed.
Mahalo, Chair. Aloha, Chair Galutera, Vice Chair Akaka, and Honorable Trustees. My name is Germaine Meyers, and I'm representing the Nanakuli Maili community. Mahalo for the opportunity to present today. You can go ahead and put up the slide presentation. Oh, okay. Okay. I will be sharing publicly available DOE Strive High data for schools serving the Waiʻanae Coast community. Next slide. I want to begin with 3 numbers. The Waiʻanae Coast has 11 schools serving 8,009 students, of whom 61% are Native Hawaiian students. These schools serve a high concentration of Native Hawaiian keiki in the state. These are not just numbers on a slide. They reflect real children, real families, and their future. Next slide. The purpose of today's presentation: I'm here to share data, patterns, and observations from schools serving a high concentration of Native Hawaiian students in the public DOE school system. My goal is to provide a clear picture of what is happening and what opportunity exists moving forward. Next slide. These are the 11 schools serving the Waiʻanae Coast community. 9 public schools and 2 Hawaiian-focused public charter schools. I grouped them this way so that the regional picture is easier to follow. Next slide. This slide shows the Native Hawaiian student population across the 11 schools serving the Waiʻanae Coast. Collectively, these schools serve 4,900 Native Hawaiian students, representing 61% of the combined school's total enrollment. Many of the students come from economically disadvantaged households. These factors do not define our students' potential, but they do impact the support systems needed for success. Next slide. The data I am sharing comes from the Department of Education's Strive High School Performance Report. For today, I am focusing on 3 indicators shown in those reports. First, English Language Arts, ELA, proficiency. In layman's term, ELA means reading, writing, and communicating using the English language. Second, math proficiency. And third, the percentage of economically disadvantaged students. Next slide. These are the 3 public intermediate and high schools serving the Waiʻanae Coast. The data shows similar patterns in ELA and math scores, while also spotlighting that these students are part of families that are experiencing high levels of economic disadvantage. Many students are not reaching proficiency, even at the intermediate and high school level, after completing 6 years of elementary school education. One point worth noting is that Waiʻanae High School shows comparatively stronger ELA results among the 3 schools. Next slide. These 6 elementary schools serve as the academic foundation for students growing up along the Waiʻanae Coast. Here again, the data shows similar patterns across the region. 2 schools worth noting are Lehoku Elementary and Maili Elementary, which show comparatively stronger outcomes among the elementary schools. Lehoku is especially notable because it shows stronger ELA and math results while also serving a high percentage of economically disadvantaged students. Next slide. The Waiʻanae Coast is also served by 2 Hawaiian-focused public charter schools, Kawaihona o Kana'ao'ao and Kamaile Academy. These schools serve many students from the same communities along the Waiʻanae Coast. Next slide. This slide brings together the data for all 11 schools serving the Waiʻanae Coast. Taken together, these schools serve a high percentage of Native Hawaiian students, of which many come from economically disadvantaged families. The Strive High reports show similar academic outcome patterns across the region. The slide highlights a core issue. Students are often progressing through grade levels without achieving food proficiency. Over time, this creates compounding learning gaps that become harder to address in later grades. This is why early intervention and sustained support throughout all grade levels become critical. When schools such as Lehoku Elementary show stronger outcomes under similar conditions, it may be helpful to learn what practices are contributing to their success. Trustees, I also provided separately a full set of the Strive High reports for all 11 schools along the Waiʻanae Coast. The reports, which you can look at on your own time, includes up to 5 years of ELA and math proficiency data, along with other data. But you can basically go back all the way far as 2020. You will see historical patterns, some improvements, but many challenges that remain consistent over time, low scores. This indicates a need for more targeted and sustained intervention. If you look at the state, it's at the top. And that's the average amongst the scores amongst the entire state. Look at how far below the state level we're at. So if it says 10% are proficient, that means 90% are inefficient. That means 90% of the students don't understand the topic. So that means 90% of the students don't know third grade level math, even though they're in the high school. Every year they take the same tests. Next slide. In summary, the schools serving the Waiʻanae Coast educate more than 8,000 students, of which 61% or 4,900 students are Native Hawaiian. The data shows both challenges and opportunities. We have persistent gaps, but we also have examples of success within our own community. Before I close, I want to take a moment to be clear about what I am asking of OHA. I understand that OHA does not control the Department of Education. However, under HRS Chapter 10, OHA has a clear kuleana to advocate for the well-being of Native Hawaiian beneficiaries, including in education. So my ask is not for OHA to control DOE, but to lead in partnership. I respectfully ask OHA to consider a place-based pilot partnership focused on the Waiʻanae Coast. Through this partnership, OHA can convene DOE, OHA, and community stakeholders, support data transparency and accountability specifically for Native Hawaiian student outcomes. We have a principal that doesn't like anything Hawaiian. And advocate for targeted support strategies such as extended learning time. We can use the libraries. Tutoring, we can use the libraries. And early literacy and math proficiency interventions. We also have schools within our communities, such as Lehoku Elementary, Mauli Elementary, and Waiʻanae High School, that are showing promising outcomes despite significant challenges, some of which are more challenging. Mauli Elementary has one of the highest populations of disadvantaged students, yet they're meeting up with the state average. What are they doing right? They're in the same school system. So there is an opportunity to learn from what is working within our own community. This is not a request for a statewide initiative. I don't care about the rest of the state. I care about Waiʻanae. This is a focused opportunity to work together. It's a pilot. Learn from our community in one place to see what is possible when alignment happens. OHA and our community. Our community is ready to partner. We are not asking OHA to take over. We are asking OHA to stand with us. Next slide. Chair Galutera, Vice Chair Akaka, and Honorable Trustees. Mahalo for the opportunity you extended to me to share the important data with the BAE committee. Kia koupu, God bless all of you. Mahalo.
I just want to thank Germaine for her very in-depth research to bring this to our attention. And I certainly would be in favor of us, advocating in the same regard as she suggested. And actually, we should have introduced the bill accordingly, because it's too late for this session, but you might consider that for the next session.
Thank you. Anybody else? Oh, Chair, Trustee.
Chair, thank you. Germaine, mahalo. The statistics are just overwhelming. It's staggering to think of how far behind our Waiʻanae Coast keiki are lagging in terms of basic competencies in education. I want to thank you for caring and keeping that before us. You're familiar with our Mauli Ola. Our efforts to take the mandate of improving the conditions of Native Hawaiians to the ground level. Do you have any thoughts on their connection to resolving the educational problems and needs on the Waiʻanae Coast?
Yeah, so OHA has partnered with nonprofits in the past, like In Peace. But I believe that OHA should partner with leaders in the community, such as the neighborhood board, both Nanakuli and Waiʻanae. We have education committee. But we also have parents that actually attend school community council meetings that are being pushed out. We got community members that actually care about the education system that go to SCC, which is Act 51, and they get pushed out.
Pushed out, how do you define pushed out? Specific?
The principal doesn't want any input from the community yet. Act 51 said that you're supposed to take into our academic plan and financial plan. You must take input from the community as well as the parents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But then she tries to control he tries to control the SEC, which is against the mandate. So what I'm saying is that OHA cannot do everything for every subject. No can. There's not enough capacity. But what OHA can do, which OHA's already done, like, for example, in Wahiawa, you have leaders there taking care of the land, but then OHA just provides the partnership as far as the support with a staff to go there, check everything is in compliance, etc. And that's what I'm basically saying. Work with the leaders at our side, introduce legislative bills on behalf of Native Hawaiians in our community or in the state, getting the actual ground level input from us. Because our legislatures can't do it alone, especially on the Waiʻanae Coast. We have 2 representatives and 1 senator. And many times we're the dumping ground for the landfills and all the economic injustice, which we just talked about at last night's neighborhood board meeting. So what I'm asking about is providing that communication with stakeholders, and most importantly, getting that school community council, Act 51, back into compliance. That is the one that is actually allows us a place in Department of Education. But they try to block it, which is what my article was about. And actually, Senator Kim introduced a bill to try to ruffle up that thing and get them into compliance. But they came out saying, all the principals, they don't want to get them. So anyway, I don't want to get down that rabbit hole. But what I'm just basically saying is help us to get the schools back into alignment. Get these programs and initiatives, which can be done using the Department of Education budget. We have we're stakeholders. We have a right to say, we want Hawaiian programs in your school because we got high in concentration. She wants to change it from Hawaiian to polo. We don't have horses. in Nanakuli High and Intermediate School. So that's what I'm saying. We have those problems, but I just want to end with one last, for you to see that I actually have experience. So I work at Taco Bell in Nanakuli, and I'm a cashier. And every day at 2 o'clock, because I work in the morning to afternoon shift, the keiki come from Kawaihona, Nana Ikapona Elementary School, and Nanakuli High, and they come to eat something after school. And they don't know how to give me the proper amount of money. So I will tell them your bill is $5 and some odd cents. And they'll give me 2 20s and 1s. They'll give me, it's all, so I'm looking at high school students that don't know. And I will go, no, baby, here's your, auntie only need this. And sometimes the children will even ask me, auntie, do I have enough more money for this if I add this to it? Yeah. These are 6th graders. I can understand the, 3rd grader, but sometimes even some of the 3rd graders know more than the older children, and they know how to count their money, etc. So you know how it is with math, right? You miss a couple of days of school, oh, it goes over your head because you missed a building block, right? And that's what I'm just saying. We need to give them if they miss school because the parents didn't give them money to catch the bus to school, they didn't have money for the sometimes buy lunch, or they start missing, and it's on the strive high, a high percentage of absenteeism, then it just, how can you get on the math bandwagon if you better have learning at 3rd grade, because we're not going to allow it, we're not going to give you the opportunity again. Yeah. So that's just what I'm asking for, programs to support at every level if you got fall behind because your family had a crisis and you missed a lot of school. Sure. Yeah.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's a fair ask.
Thank you.
And I believe we do have programs that we could integrate into your suggestion. Yeah.
Nanakuli High is 7. Nanakuli High and Intermediate is grades 7 to 12. Yeah. 9% of the students are proficient in math. What does that mean? 91% cannot do math. Yeah. And they're in the high school.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Thank you for bringing this to our attention.
Thank
really
you.
Appreciate it. Vice Chair.
Mahalo, Germaine, for coming and sharing this data with us. It is rather staggering to see these numbers, very concerning. And I wanted to thank our Chair, Galutaria, for providing this opportunity for us to learn more of what is happening on the west side of the island. I'm open to hearing what more we can do, whether it's advocacy with the DOE, BOE, and open those conversations up and how we can discuss this with the legislators of that side as well. Mahalo.
Thank you.
Germaine, I'm going to ask our Vice Chair, since she is Oahu's trustee, to follow up. And in a month or so, I'll come back and get a recap.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Okay.
you. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank
Mahalo
you.
plenty.
Mahalo.
We won't have any public testimony on this because we've already passed that particular question.
Mahalo, Chair.
Mahalo.
Okay, thank you. Mahalo. Okay. Oh, it's interesting. Okay, everybody, let's move to the next item on the agenda. Positions on 2026 legislative bills and measures. Trustees, before we get started, please keep in mind that we have 9 matrices on our agenda today. There will be no motion for OHA's bill package on Matrix 1. There are changes on Matrix 2 and 3 only. Although matrices 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 have no changes, we will be voting on each separately so our beneficiaries may present public testimony if they choose to do so. Okay, that being said, Deja, please come to the table and join us, please. And you can begin. While you get settled, is there any public testimony for Matrix 1? Any public testimony? None? As mentioned previously, no motion on Matrix 1, but we're going to get briefed. Okay, Deja?
Thank you, trustee. Aloha, trustees. As normal, I'm just going to give a brief session overview. I think what is interesting is that we've done crossover, and for most of our package bills, as well as the 2 PLT bills, I did want to flag, these are all House bills that have crossed over to the Senate, and so they're moving in the Senate. So it is kind of an unusual situation where we have the support in the House and there are not companion measures in the Senate. So the Senate is where we have all of our things moving. So I do know I wanted to mahalo the trustees. I know there's been some key meetings that you all have been a part of. And so tomorrow is the triple referral filing deadline. So that means all those bills from the House that crossed over needed to have their hearings. And so that's why I think I'm the only public policy staff that's here. Everybody's down at the Capitol, including Lay, testifying. It's been very fast and furious. Even with the electricity outages and the storms, we are all filing testimony for our hearings. So I think some of it's great. I know trustees had some meetings, and so I am happy to report that our package bill of the 3 bills alive that we're looking for hearing in the Senate, there is a hearing scheduled for our IBC bill. We just got that hearing notice. It's scheduled next week, Tuesday, the 24th at 2 p.m. So that's for our IBC bill. So that's great. For the LUC bill, we're still waiting for that to see if we get that hearing. And then the aquarium ban bill, I know that is kind of a heavy lift to get that scheduled, but I know that trustees have met with some supporters to see what we can do. And there was an article again in Civil Beat this morning about the sort of restarting this new trade. And I know there's been OHA working with some allies to get folks seeing what aquaculture could be. So that's kind of my update about the package, which is great. We have a hearing for one and they're still moving. So that's it. Thank you.
You know, before we move on, Trustee Akaka and I met yesterday with Majority Leader Drew Kanuha, and the aquarium bill is of great for him because it affects a lot of his area, Miloli'i too, and everything. So he's very interested in that particular bill. Anything you'd like to add about the meetings?
I think they've been excellent meetings, very productive. I'm very thankful for the support from both the Majority Leader Drew Kanuha as well as Senator Tim Richards. And to also highlight as well with Senator Kanuha, yes, his district does consist of the Kona Coast area, so in which there's a lot of reef fishing there, and I'm very thankful for their support as we move along, as well as regarding matters regarding our Crown and government lands and what is referred to as the Public Land Trust Working Group. So I feel that we've made some good headway there.
Yeah, we did.
As well as with the burial councils as well.
And by the way,
cetera.
we did miss you, Trustee Lindsay, and some of the members that we talked to. I said aloha to you, because we know that you had to deal with storm-related issues, right? As many of us have. Okay. All right, please, wait. As mentioned, no motion on Matrix 1. Any more discussion, members? Okay. Proceed, please, with Matrix 2.
Okay,
Measures naming OHA.
Yeah, I'm going to do this fast. I'm just going to highlight 2 bills that we're not doing changes, but I just wanted to give the update to the trustees, and then we have the bills with the table changes. So the first bills to highlight, and again, we're not asking for changes, but just highlight item 11, page 6, which is the public financing for OHA candidates. That has a hearing today, so we are hoping that we can get those amendments for the trustees' election to be on parity with the lieutenant governor. So just giving an update, that is moving. There's a hearing today. We have the testimony. And then the other is the PLT bills, items 6 and 7 on page 5. Again, I know that really mahalo the trustees for those meetings over those bills. I know there's some concerns about us educating the Senate on those issues. So that's just the update I have for those. And then finally, the one we're asking for a change, and that's item 2, page 5, HB 2046. It's highlighted in blue. That is the Olelo Hawaii Commission bill. And I just wanted to point out that they took our amendments, so we're doing from support with amendments to support. This bill is moving. It does have a hearing this week as well. So it does look like there's a lot of support behind this and that it is creating the Olelo Hawaii Commission in the office of the governor. And so I just want to say OHA needs to start thinking about what this kuleana would mean for us on this commission, since it is alive and moving. So that's it.
Okay, any public testimony for this matrix? Leanne?
No public testimony.
Okay, then Chair moves to approve OHA staff's recommendations for bills and measures naming OHA as presented in Matrix 2, except for HB 2046 relating to the Olelo Hawaii Commission with amendments to support. Okay, motion on the table. Trustees, any discussion? Hearing none. Leanne, call for the vote, please.
Trustee Ahuna is excused. Trustee Akaka.
Aye.
Trustee Akina.
Aye.
Trustee Alapa. Trustee Kahele.
Aye.
Trustee Lindsay. Trustee Souza.
Aye.
Trustee Waihe.
Yes.
Chair Galuteria.
Right.
You have 8 yes votes. Motion passes.
Mahalo, members. Let's move on to item 3, OHA position on bills affecting the Public Land Trust. Matrix 3, any public testimony?
Not at this time.
At this time. Okay, please proceed.
Okay, so similar to the other matrix, I want to give updates on 2 bills that we're not asking for position change, and then I have an update on 2 bills that we are asking for position change. So the first is item 4, page 8, which is SB 2001, and these are the Banyan Drive bills. It had a hearing yesterday, and I did want to point out that we keep talking about asking OHA to be a member of this commission, as well as having the lineal descendants be a voting member. In the vehicle, they had been kind of delegated to this advisory council, not a voting member. Yesterday, they made the amendments to have the lineal descendant be the voting member of the commission. So that's what we wanted, but they did not add OHA to the Banyan Drive authority. There is some worries about they're getting a big lot of people and what does that mean, but they did take our amendments in that case. And so I did want to flag that for the trustees. The other is item 9, page 9, SB 2799 for Kalapapa. That had a hearing yesterday as well, and it was deferred. I did want to flag, since that bill is deferred, the preferred vehicle now that is moving is a carryover bill from last session that the trustees voted to support before, and that's SB 1432. It's not on this matrix, but we do have a position approved by the Board of Trustees from last year. So I did want to flag that, and then that new bill will start appearing on the matrix. So I'm flagging that just for your information only, okay? And so then the next are the 2 bills that we're asking for table change positions on. That's item 8, page 9, HB 2599. That's the weird stadium bill that they put the, SB, that they put the Banyan Drive stuff in. They took that out. So they're kind of doing all these different vehicles. So we're actually asking to change that now from comment to monitor for SB 2599, item 8, page 9. We're recommending that change now because it's just about the stadium authority again. They took out the Banyan Drive stuff. And then the next one is item 1, page 10, HB 1842. This is a new bill that we published, and this was just out of an abundance of caution. You know, we're making these a week ahead of time, and so we see things that start to move, and we publish them. And so we had published this as comment. This is where there was a property transfer that happened last year. Well, DLNR was transferring Ali'i Place and a bunch of Iwilei parcels in this area. They're actually have now amending that to take out some of the Iwilei parcels to be Westridge, this Westridge Shopping Center parcel with the rail, and we needed the time to do the research to find out what kind of Crown and government lands could these possibly be. They're 5A lands. So we're actually recommending moving from comment to monitor at this time. It's not Crown and government lands, okay? So those are the only changes we have now for Matrix 3.
Question? Before we do that, let me make the motion, and then we can get into discussion. All right, so Chair moves to approve OHA staff's position for bills and measures affecting the Public Land Trust as presented in Matrix 3, except for SB 2599 relating to development from comment to monitor, and HB 1842 relating to government from comment to monitor. Okay, so moved. Chair Mera?
Deja, could you please trigger our memory on the Kalaupapa bill? What is it related to?
Yeah, so some of it is the issue about, I guess there's been funding that's been approved for management of the national park, and there's some issues about where there is the parcel owned, I'm so sorry if I'm saying, the Myers family has the part along the coast, and there's issues of folks going along the trail and coming down. So there's some discussion about that management crossover here. Let me pull up, actually. I'm so sorry. I should know the details better. I am so sorry. I just know that it was about, here.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm concerned because down Kalaupapa, not only is it under management of the federal government, but it's also Department of Hawaiian Homelands. So I just wondered where this bill was, what lands it was affecting.
Yeah, so the one that we were still commenting on, I remember they just wanted to do a report. So that's not really the preferred vehicle. They kind of wanted a report about the manage and how come this, I guess this transfer of powers that was supposed to happen isn't happening. Let me pull up the one I'm not as familiar with is the one from last session that is now the preferred vehicle. So let me pull that one up so I can say. The one that we had been commenting on didn't really change the management and didn't really kind of address what you're talking about. Okay, yeah, the one from last year establishes the state historical area. It authorizes the Department of Health to provide services, and it also requires there to be a future planning that involves community organizations. So that's the one that we'll bring to the board. That's not on this matrix agenda, but it's the one we'll bring to the board next, that's been pre-approved in the past, and we'll bring it to you next meeting.
Thank you.
Does that help? I'm so sorry, yeah.
We okay? Just sidebar, how many residents are in Kalaupapa? How much? One left. Oh, my.
Maybe there's more people living down there, but there's only one patient.
One patient. Oh, okay. Oh, blessings to that patient. All right. Any other questions or discussion on this matrix, members? Okay, seeing none, Leanne, call for the vote, please.
Trustee Ahuna is excused. Trustee Akaka?
Aye.
Trustee Akina?
Aye.
Trustee Alapa? Trustee Kahele? Trustee Lindsay? Trustee Souza? Trustee Waihe'e?
Yes.
Chair Galutaria?
Aye.
You have 8 yes votes. Motion passes.
Thank you, members. Okay, item 4, OHA positions on bills affecting natural resources and Native Hawaiian traditional and customary practices, matrix 4. Any public testimony, Leanne?
Not at this time.
Okay, go ahead, Deja.
Okay, for the rest of the matrix, there is no changes. So I'm just going to be giving the trustees some updates about some of the bills on the matrix. So for matrix 4, I just had one. It's one of the new bills, item 2, page 17, which is supporting the Native Hawaiian intellectual property working group's request for resources and a timeline. So I understand this is a priority of Senator Ke'ohokalole, and so we do have support on that, and I think a lot of folks are interested in seeing that working group continue its kuleana. That's it for Matrix 4.
Okay. For the purpose of discussion, I'd like to move to approve OHA staff positions recommending bills and measures affecting natural resources and Native Hawaiian traditional and customary practices as presented in Matrix 4. Any discussions on this? Comments? Seeing none, Leanne, call for the vote, please.
Trustee Ahuna is excused. Trustee Akaka?
Aye.
Trustee Akina?
Aye.
Trustee Alapa? Trustee Kahele? Trustee Kahele?
Sorry, aye.
Thank you. Trustee Lindsay? Trustee Souza? Trustee Waihe'e,
Yes.
Chair Galutaria.
Aye.
You have 8 yes votes. Motion passes.
Mahalo, members. Okay, let's move on to Matrix 5, bills affecting Native Hawaiian housing. Any public testimony, Leanne?
Not at this time.
Okay, Deja.
Okay, I just have one bill I wanted to point out on Matrix 5. I think a lot of those that have survived are just us supporting programs, but a lot of times us as OHA, we really do care about our kuleana, about iwi kupuna, as well as historic preservation and regulations in housing building. So I did want to call out item 15, page number 21, which is establishing this workforce housing regulatory sandbox. And I think what we get a lot at OHA is folks saying, well, we need to build affordable housing and make it easier. And we're always talking about, well, we also need to make sure that we're protecting iwi kupuna and having a lot of those regulations that mean our beneficiaries have input are still in place. So there is this workforce housing regulatory sandbox bill. We have been commenting and requesting that we be a part of this group, especially when it specifically talks about advising on environmental and cultural practices. Well, they finally took our amendment, and we are going to be a part of this working group moving forward. But there were some kind of bad parts because while they added us as part, they really expanded the scope of the workforce housing regulatory sandbox to allow us to waive SHPD and DOH things. So we will be a part of this working group, but it does allow a lot of waiving. So I think it's really important that we're a part of that conversation. So that's what I did want to flag. But we're still recommending comment because of those large regulatory waivers for SHPD. No changes.
Trustee Ahuna's excused. Trustee Akaka.
Aye.
Trustee Akina.
Aye.
Trustee Alapa. Trustee Kahele. Trustee Lindsay. Trustee Souza. Trustee Waihe'e.
Yes.
Chair Galutaria.
Aye.
You have 8 votes for yes. Your motion passes.
Okay, mahalo. Okay, let's move on to Matrix 6, bills affecting Native Hawaiian health. Any public testimony for this matrix?
Not at this time.
This time, okay, Deja.
Again, I just wanted to highlight one bill. We're not asking for changes, but we hadn't provided an update in a while, and that's item 9, page 25. That is the youth fines and fees bill that has been something that is a big part of the youth Ekolu Nui cohort that has survived. It has a hearing this week, and so I know it's something that the trustees, I know Trustee Galutaria has also met with the youth group on their youth fines and fees penalties group. So it's allowing youth to be, instead of getting a fine, be sentenced to INA-based community service. And so I just wanted to highlight that's still moving, and I know we haven't provided an update in a while. That's all. Thank you.
Okay. Chair moves to approve recommendations for bills affecting Native Hawaiian health as presented in Matrix 6. Any comments or questions, members? Okay, seeing none. Leanne, call for the vote, please. Matrix 6.
Trustee Ahuna's excused. Trustee Akaka.
Aye.
Trustee Akina.
Aye.
Trustee Alapa. Trustee Kahele.
Aye.
Trustee Lindsay. Trustee Souza. Trustee Waihe'e.
Yes.
Chair Galutaria.
Aye.
You have 8 yes votes. Motion passes.
Mahalo. All right, let's move on to Matrix 7, bills affecting Native Hawaiian education. Any public testimony, Leanne?
Not at this time.
Okay, Deja.
Again, this is just an update. We're not asking for a change, but I did want to point out that the only bill that's still alive relating to the public charter school teacher incentives is item 2, page 32, HB 1893. We're still supporting, and that does have a hearing today, but I did want to point out our preferred vehicle that gave the funding directly to the Charter School Commission did not make crossovers. So we are supporting this bill, but it's not our preferred version of how the teacher incentives are delivered. But we are still in support. So I did want to point that out. Mahalo.
Who is the author of that bill?
You know, I'm trying to remember the one we like, who the author is. There's a lot of folks who've signed on to all of these.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, so
I see.
I'm so sorry. Because it dropped off the matrix, I don't have it in front of me. I don't remember the name. It's like HB 2031 or something.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Yeah, sorry about that, trustees.
It's okay. All right, is that it? For Matrix 7, okay. I move to approve recommendations for bills and measures affecting Native Hawaiian education as presented in Matrix 7. Any discussion, questions, comments, members? Seeing none, okay. Call for the vote.
Trustee Ahuna is excused. Trustee Akaka?
Aye.
Trustee Akina?
Aye.
Trustee Alapa? Trustee Kahele?
Aye.
Trustee Lindsay? Trustee Souza?
Aye.
Trustee Waihe'e?
Yes.
Chair Galutaria?
Aye.
You have 8 votes. Motion passes.
Okay, very good.
Okay, so for matrix
Wait,
8,
hold
oh, so sorry.
Okay, any public testimony for Matrix 8, Native Hawaiian economic stability?
No.
No, okay, Deja. Go ahead.
So sorry about that, trustee. I'm jumping
worry.
the gun. I know we have a big conversation on Matrix 9, so I'm trying to, no, maybe not a big conversation. So the only new bill for Matrix 8 is page 37, item 1, HB 1918. There's, the reason it's kind of late for us to come in and support this, but it's just, there's been a lot of bills moving around the conveyance tax to create funding for DHHL by allocating funding that used to go to natural resources and the rental housing trust fund to take some of that conveyance tax funding and put it into DHHL. So it has started a new conversation that for a long time, the conveyance tax is not assessed on big transfers of property. So when Lanai was conveyed, it didn't go through a process that had conveyance tax. And so I think almost since 2012, they've been talking about how do we close that loophole in an appropriate way. So this bill is the newest vehicle to try to do that. We maybe have some concerns because it just taxes at the lowest rate. But we did want to support because there's this idea that if we want to use the conveyance tax to bring funding to DHHL, maybe we should make sure that those big giant wealth transfers are the ones that are paying into the conveyance tax instead of just everyday homeowners who are selling their properties. And so that's why we're bringing this support now. If we are going to keep supporting that other measure, that we believe we should be supporting this one as well. Mahalo.
Okay. All right, with that, Chair moves to approve recommendations for bills and measures affecting Native Hawaiian economic stability as presented in Matrix 8. Members, any questions or comments? Okay, seeing none. Leanne, call for the vote, please.
Trustee Ahuna is excused. Trustee Akaka?
Aye.
Trustee Akina?
Aye.
Trustee Alapa? Trustee Kahele?
Aye.
Trustee Lindsay? Trustee Souza? Trustee Waihe'e?
Yes.
Chair Galutaria?
Aye.
You have 8 yes votes. Motion passes.
Mahalo, members. Okay, let's move on to Matrix 9. Bills affecting Hawaii Revised Statutes, Chapter 6E, Iwi Kupuna, and Historic Preservation. Matrix 9. Any public testimony, Leanne?
No, there is not.
None? No. Okay. All right, Deja.
Okay, so I did want to discuss item 4, page 39, SB 3247, Mauna Ala. So there was a hearing yesterday where there were, we are still in support. OHA's testimony has been like we said before, we really wanted to support this idea that there will be a working group that is responsible at Mauna Ala. And we have very politely said that we would like to be a part of that group. It lists a whole lot of different entities. And so I did want to bring to the trustees a lot of the concerns that came up in the hearing. The bill was deferred for decision making, and I think that this was in Water and Land. They really did have a lot of concerns about what does this look like? Is this group too unwieldy? And there's also been some amendments made that folks are a little bit concerned about. So it kind of creates more of a formal oversight by DLNR. It's moving away from a working group model to kind of like agency taking care of Mauna Ala model, requiring a contested case hearing, so things that aren't really in the spirit of what the bill was about before. Daughters and Sons of Hawaiian Warriors really remain opposed to this working group in general. And so I'm just bringing it to the trustees' attention that we're probably going to need to be talking to some folks and reassessing what our position will be on the bill, even though we're not recommending anything right now, a change in position. Just the hearing happened yesterday and we have not been able to do our due diligence to find out where the community stands on this issue. So, yeah, I did want to bring that to trustees' attention. Mahalo.
Okay. Mahalo for that.
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought there might be public testimony. There isn't. Okay, that's great. Okay.
Yeah, well, probably if this makes it to the short strokes, there's going to be testimony. Okay, let's see. Chair moves to approve recommendations for bills and measures affecting Hawaii Revised Statutes, Chapter 6, iwi kupuna and historical preservation as presented in Matrix 9. All right, any comments or questions, members? Okay, seeing none, Leanne, call for the vote, please.
Trustee Ahuna is excused. Trustee Akaka?
Aye.
Trustee Akina?
Abstain.
Trustee Alapa? Trustee Kahele?
Aye.
Trustee Lindsay? Trustee Souza? Trustee Waihe'e?
Yes.
Chair Galuteria?
Aye.
You have 7 yes votes, 1 abstention. Motion passes.
Well, mahalo. Thank you, everybody. That does it for the matrices today. Thank you, Deja, and to the team as well. Really appreciate it. All right, Leanne, do we have anyone online or in person that has anything to share during community concerns and celebrations?
No, we do not.
Okay, members, anything you'd like to mention about concerns or celebrations? No? All right. Members, does anyone have any announcements? None? It will be going into the BNF committee shortly, but Chair Waihe'e, do we have time between committees or you just want to start up? 20 minutes? Okay, very good. Okay, mahalo to everyone for your participation. There being no further business, may I have a motion to adjourn? Thank you. A motion has been made. Any discussion, members? No? Okay, roll call.
Trustee Ahuna is excused. Trustee Akaka?
Aye.
Trustee Akina?
Aye.
Trustee Alapa? Trustee Kahele?
Aye.
Trustee Lindsay? Trustee Souza? Trustee Waihe'e? Chair Galuteria?
Aye.
You have 8 yes votes. Meeting is adjourned at 10:02 a.m.
Okay, we're adjourned.